Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender regime boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's going on? So I just got done watching Frank Martin versus Jackson Marinez, and I have to say that this was surprisingly a more competitive fight than I thought it would be. Remember when I said that I was happy that Ricardo Nunes had to drop out of the fight and we got Jackson Marinez instead, because I felt like Jackson Marinez was an overall better fighter, better boxer, a fresher guy, just a guy that's more hungry and just overall more skilled. But I didn't think it would be this competitive, and I was pleasantly surprised, man. This was a very fun fight to watch. Whoever was in the stands booing, they need their ass kicked, man, because I love fights that have unique character. I like fights that can go from 0 to 60 real quick. I love a great chess match, you know what I'm saying? And where guys are trying to figure each other out, seeing which strategy worked the best, seeing who can impose their style and their pace on the opponent. And that's what you saw in the first 6 or 7 rounds. I would say that Frank, number one, let me give kudos to Jackson Marinez. Jackson Marinez is a very skilled boxer with a wonderful jab, a beautiful straight right, very good counterpuncher, very sharp. He was a taller, longer, rangier guy, so he had that advantage going for him. He used it for the most of the fight. He did. A lot of guys that's taller, they don't actually use their height to their advantage. Jackson Marinez did a great job of trying to keep Frank on the outside, using his jab. Both guys had, both guys brought a very active and sharp jab to the fight. And it was a battle of the jabs in the first few rounds. And I loved how Jackson Marinez was able to keep Martin at bay for the most part. Bring that straight right behind it. Try to make Martin pay anytime Frank Martin jumped in and got a little reckless, or tried to take a chance to get on the inside. A lot of those shots weren't landing clean and flush. But I was just impressed with Jackson Marinez's his hunger and his sharpness and his focus in the fight. His punch placement, just his overall mindset in the fight. I was really impressed. But with Frank Martin, man, this wasn't his best performance, but I would have to say that this is probably the most complete fighter that he's fought up until this point. And it was probably the most difficult matchup because, again, this was a last minute replacement fight. He was supposed to fight Ricardo Nunes. Ricardo Nunes and Jackson Marinez are two totally different fighters. Nunes is a guy that like to come forward and throw punches. He's nowhere near as skilled as Marinez, and then there's a size factor as well that you have to account for. And I mean, it was just day and night if you comparing Jackson Marinez and Nunes, and the fact that Martin was able to slowly but surely adjust and make the right moves to put himself in position to win. But early on, I thought Frank Martin was doing really good boxing, being patient, but I thought he was being too patient. After the second and third round, I expected him to pick up the pace and impose his style and his pace on Marinez, because Marinez is the taller guy. Even though Frank Martin has great boxing ability, really good feet, you guys seen that in the fight tonight. You seen his footwork. You seen the angles. Sometimes he does make movements where he don't have to make movements. And then I saw times where he had Jackson Marinez in a position where he could have landed 3 or 4. He'll land one or two, get Marinez in a bad position where he's open for 2 more, but then he'll kind of back off. I thought he was being a little bit too patient in the first 4 to 6 rounds. Really allowing Marinez to fight at the pace that better suits him from that long range or mid range boxing, keeping him on the outside, having it slow and methodical. Like I said, even though Frank Martin is a very, very skilled and intelligent boxer, You know, I thought that he should have pushed the pace early, being the shorter guy with the shorter reach, and being the more athletic guy with the more explosive punching, with the better hand speed, the better punching power, the better combination ability. I thought that he should have pushed the action earlier. And you saw what he did later on in the fight in the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th round. He started to speed it up a little bit. And he closed that distance, and he closed the show out, man. I mean, it's really nothing better than, you know, boxing a guy, having a competitive fight, going, you know, tit for tat with a guy, and then in the very last round of the fight, you close him out. You drop him in the 9th round, and then you stop him in the 10th round. I mean, that's just, in my opinion, that's a complete performance. It's not his best performance, but this is versus the most complete guy that he's been in the ring with. So you have to take that in consideration, and other things that I mentioned as well. But I am impressed with Frank Martin. I think he definitely has things to work on. I mean, a guy started boxing at age 18. Jackson Marinez has been boxing since he was 9 years old. So it's a difference. You can obviously see that Frank Martin is the goods, and he got the natural ability. All he got, and he got a great coach with him. He got great peers around him, training alongside of the likes of Earl Spence Jr. and Jermell Charlo. So he has all of the ingredients to continue to build and hone his skills, and you know, continue to, you know, build on his craft. He has all of the resources around him. So I expect Frank Martin to continue to get better. I would love to see him get in the ring with one of the top guys right now, but if that's not the case, that's cool. I don't think he's just now 16-0, so I don't think they're upset about not getting the top guys right now. I think they're okay with taking their time and allowing Frank Martin to see these different type of styles, see these, fight against these different type of body types, and be able to get this experience, because he needs that when you get in there with the likes of Devin Haney, who had gloves on his hands since he was fucking 4 years old. Tank Davis, the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Telefimo Lopez, all these guys been boxing since they was goddamn wearing Superman drawers and shit. You know what I'm saying? So you need that type of experience. You feel what I'm saying? But man, it was a great fight, a very fun fight. You know, Frank Martin, I love the way he closed the show. Once he got closer to Marinez, man, and made him fight at his pace, started to put them combinations together, get on the inside, break all that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he fighting at a good pace. That's for him. Break that shit up, man. Speed that shit up, you know. Turn it up. I was saying that shit in the 7th round, and you heard Derrick James, I believe, going into the 8th or the 9th. He said, hey, man, it's time to turn this shit up. You got to turn up the pace. You feel me? You the shorter guy. You can't let him sit and fight at his range. You got to go ahead and get on the inside and break all that shit up. And if he hit you with something while you getting close to him, hey, so be it. But you got to do it. You're going to have to get past that shit somehow. You got a great jab. You see that shit popping and it's working. But you got to use angles to get on the inside, get up underneath that shit, and then put your work on him. And that's exactly what he did, man. Shout out to Frank Martin. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. How did y'all feel about the performance? What do y'all think is next for Frank Martin? You know, does he jump up and get one of the top 5? You seen the poll that I posted in the community. Does he jump up and get one of the top 5 guys in and around that division? Or, you know, would you like to see him against maybe like a Isak Cruz or a Rayo? You know what I'm saying? Or maybe a Richard Comey, a guy who did beat Jackson Marinez. You know, somebody like that. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. Contender regime boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.